In this video, I'm going to demonstrate some options to connect to a remote OPC server that would be a classic OPC DA server. The first and best design that I'm going to demonstrate is an edge solution, where you install OAS at the data source where the OPC server is, and then network to other OAS engines or applications, and use the built-in OAS networking that does not require DCOM. I will launch the Configure application and select Configure Tags. In the network node, I will select the remote system either by IP address, network node name, or registered domain name, and hit the Select button. I'm now connected to that remote system doing remote configuration. I will now add a tag with a tag name A and set the data source to OPC. Select the Browse button. When browsing, select Local, even though it is on a remote system. I'm actually browsing the local OPC servers from that remote OAS Engine node. I can select the branch of SIM device and select the OPC item that I want to connect to. I click Apply Changes. Now that OAS Engine has that live tag value, and we just save that configuration in that remote system. Now let's use the tag value in a remote application. Let's say I was going to do some data logging on my local system here. So I select Configure Data Logging. And in the network node, I'm going to connect to localhost. Hit the Select button. And now if I wanted to find tags to connect to that remote OAS engine, I'll simply browse to the remote IP address, hit the Select button. I'm now browsing the remote tags on that OAS engine. Notice the full tag path here is / the IP address, / and then the tag name. I click OK and then specify the field name that I would like and the data type. Click OK. That is an example of doing remote data logging of remote OPC data from another OAS engine. That is the best design because in this way we have the store and forward functionality supported in an edge design. So if the network connection between the first node and the data logging node is dropped temporarily, data will be buffered on the edge node until the network connection is restored. Also, we don't have to deal with remote DCOM security access or exposing the system to security vulnerabilities by opening up ports for DCOM access. If we look under the networking section, we use basic networking, where the IP address of the data source node was 1.10, and then our data logging system is some other node that is accessing data from that remote node. And there you can see the network syntax. And that's applicable for all of these client applications, whether it comes to visualization or no-code user interface cross-platform HMI. You could also create .NET applications to use basic networking, connect to Microsoft Excel. We demonstrated data logging, how to set that up. All of these functions support remote connectivity, including calculation tags of another OAS engine, so it's an edge-deployed solution. That's the best way to go. Now I will show you a second way to connect to a remote OPC DA server if you're not allowed to install OAS on the same system as the OPC server. First, go to Configure Options. Under the Networking tab of Configure Options, scroll down and you will see a list of network nodes. Select Add Network Node. And to demonstrate this, I will use my local connection of 127.0.0.1. I'll add that to the list and click OK. That way, I don't have to deal with demonstrating remote DCOM security for you, and you can just see how it's actually done with OAS. Next, we'll go back to Configure Tags, and we'll put a new tag name in here. I'll call this one B, so we can know that it's a different tag than the first tag. And here we're going to set the data source to OPC. Then we'll select Browse. This time we're going to go to Network, and there we see that IP address that we just entered to connect to. We select the server, the branch, and then the item that we want to connect to. Notice it's put in network node in front of the full OPC server and item path. When we select Apply Changes, the value is now live to the system. So that's how to do a remote DCOM connection. Again, that is option 2 and not the best way, but it will connect if you can work out the remote DCOM security. The guide to set up OPC DA connections is under the Data Connector section under OPC DA Server and Getting Started. Networking to remote servers with OPC UA is a better option because OPC UA is designed for remote connectivity. But even with OPC UA, Using an edge solution of OAS is better if you need store and forward functionality to retain the data on all network failures. From our website at openautomationsoftware.com, select the download link to download a 30-day trial, and you can try the OPC connections yourself.